Okay, so in today's video we're going to be looking at Prismatic ClawSuit. To obtain this class you'll need to wait till the December period, which is the Frostfall time, and so the class is seasonal and it is paywalled. You will need to be a member to buy and use this class. Other than that though, there are no other additional requirements. Alright, so for your enhancements, you want to go full luck. However, if you have access to Aura Forge, then here are some suggestions. This class is a full hybrid with the Mage Mana Regeneration model. Okay, so moving on to the passives, your first one increases your strength and intellect by 10%, and your second rank 4 passive increases your crit strike chance by 5%. This class is pretty old, so it does not have a rank 10 passive, and that is also the reason why the numbers on the rank 4 passives aren't that high as well. Okay, time for the skills. Your auto attack is just the basic strike to one target. Okay, so your second skill is called Naughty, and it deals damage to one target and applies the Naughty debuff onto your opponent. This stacks 4 times, and each time you use it, it makes this skill's attack stronger. The third skill is called
Nice.
It deals damage to one target, and it basically heals the caster very lightly, but it also applies the nice debuff onto the opponent. Stacks 4 times as well, and each time you use the heal, or I should say your third skill, the heal becomes a bit more potent, I guess, but it's still a pretty weak heal, and you shouldn't be relying on it, to be honest. I just want to point out that both the effects of Naughty and Nice last 20 seconds, and they both replace each other. So, yeah. Okay, so here's where things get interesting. You can actually use both of these skills to gain secondary effects. And let's say, for example, you first apply Naughty, and then if you apply Nice, you instead get Holiday Cheer, which is a heal over time that lasts for 8 seconds. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think the more stacks of Naughty that are present and then applied with Nice, the stronger the HOT is. The opposite can be said as well. If you first have Nice active and then apply Naughty, you gain the Frostburn effect on the enemy, which is a damage over time that lasts for 8 seconds. And again, don't quote me on this, but I think the DOT is increased by how much stacks of Nice were present. So your fourth skill is called Check the List. It deals light damage to one target, and by itself doesn't really do much. You'll be wanting to pair it with either Naughty or Nice. So if you have Naughty activated and then apply Check the List, which is your fourth skill, you apply a lump of coal onto the enemy, which reduces their haste by 25% for 8 seconds. However, if you have Nice active and then you apply your fourth skill, you apply Blitzen's Blitz onto yourself, which increases your outgoing damage by 50%, your haste by 20%, and reduces the damage taken by 20%, and this all lasts 8 seconds. So obviously, I feel like the Nice buff that you apply with Blitzen's Blitz is better. And also another thing is that using Check the List does not consume naughty or nice. Finally, your 5th skill is called Arctic Stamina, and it's a 50 mana cost with a 30-second cooldown, which is very interesting. And it's a status skill that is applied to yourself. You basically reduce your incoming damage by 30%, and you also increase your outgoing damage by 20% for 8 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna be pretty honest with you. For soloing, I do not like using this class at all. The combo you have to use is pretty irritating to use, especially if you miss during your combo. It's very annoying. And also, like, the cooldowns and the mana costs, it's just, yeah, I wouldn't recommend using this class to solo. And this is the first time I've ever experienced that a class at level 100 would struggle with mana with the mage mana regeneration model. It's, yeah, I mean, granted this is, base enhancements, but still, that's kind of like not good. Okay, so with Forge enhancements, what's funny? This class actually benefited from the recent Ravenous change. This class did have a combo, but now with the Ravenous change, it's just basically spam your 3rd skill, and then use your 4th because you want that haste buff. Use your 5 whenever, and then if you have just activated your haste buff, use 2 and 4 for your big damage. But other than that, it's just mainly spamming your 3rd skill and then making sure 3 and 4 the Blitz and Splits buff is active most of the time. That's basically it. Yeah, don't use this class to farm. This class cannot support, however, with group boss fights, it's actually pretty good. So its group DPS is definitely something not to be mess around with. So if you wanted other players to support you while you're the main DPS, then feel free and use this class. I don't know why. It's surprisingly good, maybe because its base damage is already quite high. But yeah, can't support, but it can be the DPS in a group setting. So with defense, it's not going to be the best. Yes, your 3rd skill is basically a lifesteal, and you can have a heal over time with it, along with Check the List, which has Blitz and Splits, which reduces your damage taken by 20%, and your 5th skill, Arctic Stamina, which also reduces your incoming damage by 30%. It's not going to work because Check the List and Nice, those type of skills, they need to hit, and if they miss, then there goes, your protection. And also Arctic Stamina, it's like 50 mana and a 30-second cooldown. You're not going to be able to activate it all the time. So this class's defense, while it does have skills that can help it with its defense, it's not going to be the best. Okay, so final thoughts on Prismatic ClawSuit. I'm honestly not a fan of this class. Yes, the recent Ravenous change did benefit this class a lot, and it is viable with that. And yes, it can be used as the main DPS in a group setting, but for that, of course, you're going to need like in-game Forge enhancements, and you're going to need a full team to maximize this class's damage potential. And the fact that this class is paywalled and is seasonal means that it's something that you don't need. Plus, this class is pretty old. It doesn't even have a rank 10 passive. So, yeah. Not to mention that, your 5th and 4th skill alone, even if you don't have, Forge enhancements, already take up 90 mana. And this class really struggles with mana if you do not produce crits. So yeah, overall I personally do not care or favor for this class, but if you do have a membership during the month of December, then feel free to use this class if you want to try it out. But it's definitely going to be I'll try it for just a once in a time scenario with a group of friends, and then I'll just switch back to my usual classes. But yeah, other than that, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and see ya!